The 13th, Monday, sorry, Tuesday, trade recap why I took this position on SPX, how your boy was able to catch 35 points, and how you can do it as well. So, obviously, guys, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just coloring on my screen like an idiot. But I kind of want to break down this position really smooth, really quick. First thing I do, right? You guys know me watching me, or you tapped in with me. You guys know that every single day in the morning, I'm always looking at CNBC. CNBC, you can download it on your phone. You can go on the website. I have the app. I look at it. I look at what is fundamental analysis saying to me before the market opens. As you can see, we had pre-market analysis saying that stock futures are flat. Why were they flat? Because we were expecting CPI news. We were expecting what was going to happen in CPI news. And obviously, CPI came out negative, more lower than expected, my apologies, which caused markets to really rally. Hence why pretty much all of pre New York, we were in this consolidating phase. Yes, we were in like a little loop, almost like a teacup, going back up. But overall, we were in a consolidating phase, consolidating until we broke here and we absolutely shot up. Now, going into my position overall, for those of you guys that do not know, I incorporate the Delta footprint chart to my confluences. I use it a lot. I use it, extensively. I love using it because it makes my trading infinitely easier. It makes it very, very, very easy overall for me to kind of see what's going on in the market. But I'm going to break down the Delta footprint chart, and hopefully this kind of helps you guys understand it a tad bit better. I think at the end of the day, that's all that one is trying to do, is trying to figure out how they can get better at using this device. So boom, right here we are, right here we're at New York Open. Beautiful. So the first thing that I saw, right, and the thing that I like to do is that I never like to take a position right off the bat, especially right at the 9:30 candle. Usually those are liquidity sweeps. A lot of the big players, the whales, they take retail's money. So I like to wait overall. But what was Johnny looking at, and why did he end up? Let me just lock this so it doesn't move. Why was I looking to take a position right at this candle? So as soon as we opened up, we saw a positive delta, but we saw a negative candle. Now, again, why I was, leaning towards bullish action was, even though we printed out a negative and we had a positive delta, this candle was showing me that buyers were a little bit more aggressive. Look at how this candle ripped, sorry. We had these aggressive buyers here at the low and at the high as well, which caused this candle to completely almost reverse to its full position. So this was something that I was looking at. So I look at the Delta footprint chart just like so. Now, the average person not using the Delta footprint, they're not going to understand it. They're not going to know it. That's why it's so important to have the footprint chart, because it gives you a better view of what's going on in the market. Of course, you're still going to lose, but your P&L is always going to be going up at a higher rate. But secondary candle, right, at 9:35, this is the key thing for me to be like, hey, you know what? I'm looking to get into this position. I'll explain to you why. So as you guys can see, we had a negative 222.94 thousand sell orders favoring sellers. Now, what's something you guys notice from this candle? By looking at it. And obviously, you work with me, do the Delta footprint chart, you guys should be able to understand this. But we printed out positive, massively, massively positive. And we ended off the candle with a negative sell orders. And we closed above our POC. So that was an indication for me to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to start looking for potential longs. And I didn't get in right away because I wanted to see us break fully. Because again, in this candle right here, when we came and we went down, if I would have gotten in, we would have nearly hit my stop loss. And something that I'm really proud about, that I'm really taking my time when I'm entering this position. But again, similar thing. Whenever you're looking at the Delta footprint chart, you want to look at discrepancies in the candle. You want to look at things that you can notice. It's going to have you be like, hey, you know what? I want to take a position for a sell. when I take a position for a buy. And again, what was the big confluence for me? The big check was number one. Again, positive candle for me. We broke above my POC. We were negative delta. We were negative delta. This is showing me that we have passive sellers. We have selling exhaustion. We have smart money getting in. So once we did that, I got into my position. I was in a little bit of a drawdown. Nothing crazy up here. We went down a bit, 5.21 million sell orders. At this point, when we retraced here, at this candle right here, this was at 940. This is a 945 candle. So like right here. So I'm gonna pull this out right here. So once we jumped up, I was scaling into my position. And then once we made a drop to these levels here, that's when I decided to get into my position. Because again, we still weren't aggressively into sellers. You guys can see that these are light red colored. We barely have any darks, indicating again that sellers are still in control of this movement. We're still on an upward spiral. So I was confident at this point. I entered full positions in of my full lots, my full four standard lots in to go in for my long, and boom, to my avail, the next candle that prints, we absolutely obliterate. And if you guys notice on my Delta footprint chart, there's two things that I want you to notice on these next two candles, which solidified my confidence to get into this position. Number one, positive green delta, 5.96 million buy orders. Sorry, 9.6 million, 5.96 million orders favoring buyers, and 1.51 million buy orders favoring obviously longs. But we saw a zero orders for fulfilled for sellers, and we saw zero fulfilled orders. We saw zero sell orders. But even though we had zero sell orders here, we were still running because we broke my POC. So that's what I wanted to say. I wasn't concerned that this was a zero, because we broke the POC. We had two positive candles, except for this one. This was like a retracement. We broke clearly above my POC at this level. And then we ended up breaking this candle as well. Again, having a positive delta, bullish candle. And at this point, we actually shot up. We saw the blue EMA cloud forming overpriced, indicating that again, buyers were in momentum. The lazy bear right over here was showing me that sellers were nowhere to be found. And of course, the RSI, we were at like here, so we had room to go to the upside, leaving an oversold area. So this is a no-brainer. For this reason, I was able to capture this position with the absolute precision and ease, and ultimately make my profit overall. And you guys can see, right, from my journal, and this is something that you guys want to do as well. It's very, very important, is journal your position, because that's how you're going to get better overall in the market. But you guys can see that just for me looking at this, I had the exact same setup. I said I'm very confident on how I've executed this position with the utmost confidence. Now, why did I decide to take this position at 935? We saw a negative delta candle. Despite this, both candles printed green, which indicated that sellers were losing momentum and getting exhausted. Shortly after, we saw a sharp price jump from with 5.96 million and 3.11 million buy orders. This was a major signal, especially since it happened near my consolidated area at 58.49, which I'm going to talk about that shortly. As soon as we broke out that area, I mentioned in the group chat that I would love to see us take out the highs. And once we broke market structure, the BMS, I'd love to see us continue to the upside. And we did that. We absolutely ran. The lazy bear showed me that that buyers were in control. The RSI was surging upwards with more room to fulfill, and we crushed it straight over 35 points in profit. I'm extremely confident and thankful how I'm trading right now, even though the last 2 weeks were a bit bumpy because I was adding extra instruments that I should have never done. I was trading gold during Asia, which is stupid because it's not my pair. But I'm continuing to show my skills. And this proves what I always say: sticking to one pair really pays off. I'm grateful. I remain focused on SPX, which has been the pair that has paid me the most. Thank you, God. So again, guys, if you are not journaling your positions after your trading days, like, dude, you're not going to get better. You're not going to understand what you did right. You're not going to understand what you did wrong. Now, going back to what I was talking about in my journal at 58.48. Again, why I was very confident in longs, or not even longs, but just the overall movement, is whenever price stays in the same area for so long, it gets weak. It gets weak, and an explosive move shall happen either to the downside or to the upside. But overall, just how we were moving in terms of fundamental, in terms of technicals, in terms of overall trend, in terms of overall economical news as well, we were due for a bullish reaction. We saw an absolutely bullish reaction here. So that's why I took my position, guys. Hopefully that made sense. Me implementing the Delta footprint chart has been an absolute freaking game changer for me. Just alongside price action, I look at it during my POC levels. Now, originally, I consider this personally a late entry. I should have gotten in here, but just I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like the chop. And I wanted to see a cleaner breakout. So even though I got it above my POC, it was still close to my POC. We technically broke the POC on my Delta footprint because I do have those already pre-marked up, which is the yellow blocks right here. But I also have it on my other chart as well here. But I'm grateful, guys, that I took this position. I'm grateful that I locked in. And it's that simple, guys. Simple strategy, simple confluences. You don't need to overcomplicate it. And that's how you can apply the Delta footprint chart with price action and breakouts to capture massive moves in the market. And hopefully this video, guys, brought you some value on why I decided to take this position. Again, guys, trading is not difficult. It just simply takes an effort to learn the skill. And you guys have to just keep learning. You guys have to keep tapping. You guys have to keep, putting in that boring work so you can catch positions like this and have the utmost confidence. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you got value from this, share this with a friend. God bless you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.